So, I'm going to go over the trade taken today on Thursday, the 13th of February, 2025. Okay. To the right here, we have what I was seeing live and the reasons why I got into the trade. I'm just going to go over why I actually got into this trade. It was a minus 1%. Um, but we don't always just review winners. We like to review the losers so that we can see exactly what went wrong, see if we was impaired when taking the trade or was it just a good setup and it just didn't form. Okay, so you can see this is the trade that I took. Okay, and this is what I was looking at the time. So this was the 5 minute chart. Okay, if we just pull this down for a second. So this is the 5 minute chart. Okay, what I was seeing at the time. Now this wick in here was a 3 minute FVG tapped into when the new hour started. So I did actually think price might move up a bit quicker, but as you can see, price left a 15 minute FVG just here, and then that is what I took my entry off. Okay, as you can see here. So if I go back to actually showing the setup as it formed, okay, so this is what we were seeing. Okay, so there's that 5 minute FVG that I was saying before. That's where this level here was taken from. Okay, but we didn't actually take that setup. We took this. So if we pull into price here, now I'm going to leave this hourly candles here. We took the setup based off of this 15 minute FVG. Okay, now our stops were just below the low, and obviously our target was 2% as usual, just above Asia. And we had to the left here, which I'll show you in a second, the New York high, which was near enough in line with our take profit. So we'd have been perfectly in line to actually hit TP if price went the way we wanted it to. So this is the setup that we looked for. Okay. And if we just pull that over there for now, what can we see and why did the trade run against us? Well, we had the Asia level here and price gets taken out. Okay, so what I was viewing at the time was this level here. We had this market structure shift to the upside. So for me, at this point, on this 15 minute time frame, especially, this was really, really clean. We've left the FVG here. We had an inversion here. So if we pull these out, just so that people can actually see them, then you can see we had the inversion there and we had a nice clean clear, not so big but just nice 15 minute bullish FVG. So at this moment in time, when price was tagging back into this, so here at 3:15 a.m. New York, so it was about 8:15 a.m. UK time, I was expecting price to tag in and then continue to the upside. Now price, as you can see, did absolutely obliterate through all of these areas. So price ended up taking the low. But for what reason did that happen? Well, when we go up to the 1 hour chart, we can see that in with my rules, I like to see a previous hour's sweep and then close back above or within the range. Okay. So what did we have? This is when we came into the hour. Okay. So we swept this low here. So we would put close above previous hour's low. So we equal bullish. Okay, so that was nice. Expecting this candle, which was very bullish, to then push this candle to the upside. We even closed above the high. So at this, when the candle closed, I was very, very confident that price would rally up. We had a 1 hour FVG just over here, which is very, very clean. And to make it even more A plus, this is why this trade is a little bit of a gutter that it didn't win. Is we also had the 4 hour level. Now, at the time, this 4 hour candle obviously didn't have 22 minutes to go. This 4 hour candle had over 2 hours to go. And the way I like to trade is obviously we want to see the lows swept. So, what happened was, and if I pull it out with this, so obviously this is where we opened, and then we made the low during, well, it wasn't that low, it was about here. Okay, so we'd had swept obviously the previous candle's low. And then when I entered the trade, we was around about here, looking like we was going to go to the upside. So this was our entry level. Okay, price came back down a bit, which was expected into the FVG. And then I expected price to rally up and take out all of these highs. Now, unfortunately, it didn't actually quite go to plan. But why did this happen? Well, there's a number of reasons it could happen. We are obviously in the bullish order flow. You can see we had this 4-hour FEG respected, price absolutely obliterated to the upside. We do have this 4-hour FEG, which was respected once before, where price seems to be bouncing off of again. But if we are bullish, this FEG will hold. Now, what could have happened is it just might not be ready to push to the upside just yet. So this 4-hour candle, if it does close back within this range, which is only about 6 pips away, you could still frame an idea for these highs. Now, these are all relative equal highs now. So this, and this have now become relative equal highs. I would look to target all of them if I was going to trade this pair again. Now, I wouldn't be rushing to jump into this trade because the 4-hour doesn't look like it's going to close back up here. But if it does, I will set an alert to see whether or not price is going to go up higher. We drop back to the 1-hour and we can see that price on its last. Now, this is something why I wouldn't rush to jump into the trade, because on the last hour of the 4-hour, we're probably expecting price to pull back a little bit. Now, overall, this 4-hour candle hasn't really done too much. We opened up here, sunk lower in the first hour, second hour pumped, third hour came back down, and now we're pushing back up. So this 4-hour London candle didn't really do too much. But obviously, again, we're going to sweep this low, sweep all these lows, which was where my stop was and probably a lot of other people's stops. And we're going to close back within the range again. So potentially, and the reason I have this alert on is because potentially, if we do see this high have a market structure shift, we could still be going to the upside. So we may have just been in this trade a little bit early. With that being said, this setup itself was actually a decent setup. There was nothing really too wrong with the setup. I mean, daily was very, very bullish, obviously. Yesterday pumped really, really, really good. We've gone through this daily bearish FEG, so we've inversed that. Price potentially is even coming to tag back into this now. So realistically, I don't see any reason for these highs and all of these relative equal lows. Now, this is something that I don't think I've really explained on the on my course or anything in my Discord, but all of these swing points here are relative equal lows, and any of them can be targeted. They should all have liquidity from some sort to target. Okay, so any swing point area where price is sitting, it means there's at some point or another someone's put a stop there, most likely. So we call them relative equal highs in this case, or if it was to the downside, as you can see here, this, even this is all relative equal lows. Okay, so you'd have these marked. I don't mark them, but you can mark them if you'd like. These are relative equal lows. Okay, well, not relative equal lows. These are swing points in the market, but when you have these areas, they're areas for you to target nonetheless. Okay, so daily, I'm still bearish, still bullish, but obviously when it comes to the 1-hour chart, we need to see this price close back within, which it's going to do. You'd like to see a market structure shift. Now, 15-minute market structure shifts looking like it's going to be a little bit too far away. It probably, if it did go up here, would confirm price like is really bullish at that point, because you've had a really nice sweep and then push back above. 5-minute would be a little bit more of a riskier entry, but would be the entry if you're going to take it. It's unfortunate, really, because obviously price has just had this big push down, literally took us out. Our stops are at this level just here. I mean, price wicked down about 5 pips and that's it. And if it does continue to the upside now, yeah, it's just a sort of a stop hunt. But they do happen, unfortunately. That's just the way trading goes. But the trade idea itself was an A+ setup. I would take it again. These are the trades that I base all of my trading off. It's what's got me funded. It's what keeps me living without having to go to a full-time job. So yeah, really nice trade idea. The execution and the actual price action wasn't the best, but we go again and we see what price gives us in the afternoon session.